Hey guys, welcome back to Wild Style. So it's been a little bit since I've given you an update, so I wanted to update you on a few things. The first thing is you may notice the hole behind me. If I can get that in, hole behind me here. So we decided to go ahead and take the pool all the way down this year because our winters get so cold. I know you can leave them up, but we just thought it would be easier to take it down. And so what we ended up doing was actually let it sit for several days so that the chlorine would kind of burn all out of there, so it had zero chlorine. And then we got a sump pump, and we ended up putting the sump pump in the pool here. And then we made sure that we got one that could attach to a regular garden hose. And we put a garden hose out and just on these trees over here, we just put the hose on a tree and let it sit for several hours and then move it to another tree. And so we were actually able to repurpose our pool water into watering all of our trees. And so that was one of the reasons that we decided to go ahead and take the pool down, because we knew that we could reuse that water. It would have a good purpose, and especially as we start getting into fall here, giving those trees a good soak was great for them. Okay, so next update is this behind me is the labata that we had grown on the trellis. And while it did get long, it got clear up to the top of the trellis. It didn't actually flower, so I think it didn't have quite enough time to establish in enough heat. We got kind of cool early this season. Our nights stayed really cool most of the summer this year instead of warming up like some years. We also didn't have any temperatures, I don't think hardly, that were over 100. Sometimes, usually in the middle of the summer, we'll be over 100 for a week or two. We'll have several days that are up over 100, and we just didn't get that this year. So I think we had a cooler summer, which is why I think some of the things struggled more than usual. The little eggplants that are also called pumpkin on a stick, those did not seem to have enough time to establish. So I may have to try and start those inside next year and then see if I can't transplant them out and see if I can get them a little bit bigger indoors than what they were this year, because they just didn't have enough time either, I don't think. Or we just had a rough year. It's hard to say. I'm going to walk while I talk. We did get some garden production. It's not as prolific this year as it was in some other years. My guess is that's because we did have the issue with the antelope while we were out of town, so that was took a huge toll, and then as well the heat. So I think between the two things, we didn't have as much production. So most of the time we get a ton of tomatoes. We only had a few tomatoes. Our potatoes, well, we do have a lot of them. They are very small this year. They didn't have a chance to get real large. We did get a bunch of onions. Those actually did fairly well this year. And we got a little bit of everything. The artichokes did surprisingly well. We had a bunch of artichokes, so that's been fun for us to eat those and enjoy them. And they can actually handle some of the cooler weather, so I think that's part of why they did so well for us this year. Had tons of raspberries. I don't know if I got a picture of those. If I did, I'll post it. But the kids went out several different times and picked large bowls of raspberries. So those were very productive. Okay, pumpkins actually did really well this year. We got a lot of them. They didn't grow big and huge. We had several jack-o'-lanterns that we should have gotten a ton of jack-o'-lanterns to be able to carve, and we didn't get many of those. But we did get a lot in general, so let me show you. So I put them out on the front porch. It just kind of looks like they're spilling over a little bit. So we did have some of the white flat stacker varieties. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. I think this is actually a green variety. And then I had some of the darker orange, a little bit red tinted varieties also. And then I always like to grow pumpkins that I can make a stack with. I didn't actually get too many flat orange ones to be able to stack, but I did have some flat other colored ones. We even had a yellow one up at the top there, so that was kind of fun. We were able to make a stack of pumpkins, which is always one of my goals. As far as fall foliage, I'm not going to go through everything. I still actually have a few things in bloom. Still look amazing, whereas a lot of other things have died off because of the frost. And this is that cluster rose that I just planted this year. It's got a couple clumps just hanging on, but looking beautiful. So I do have, for the first time this year, this is the dwarf burning bush, which I actually thought was dead. It's been here for about 4 years, and I've hardly seen any activity or any growth on it. And then this year, these leaves just popped red, and I knew instantly what it was because of the color of those leaves. But I didn't even realize it was alive. So excited to see that there. Okay, this is that bed along the driveway that's full of weeds. But this is the coralberry, which has these little pink berries in the fall that are just so fun. They're so cute. And then my mums are absolutely thriving. They start off all white, and I forget what color they are. So at the beginning of the fall, I kind of think, oh, I went with white. That was boring. And then they start turning. And as they turn into this beautiful, it looked purple at first. It's more of a pink now. They're just these beautiful giant pink mounds, and they're just gorgeous. So those have been fun to watch them turn from that into that. and somehow they're still holding on out here in the cold, where you can see lots of other things are dying off. Our grass is starting to die off. The reeds on the pond are starting to die off. Just fortunately, summer is over, and yes, fall is here. That's where we're at. We are working on the fence. We've got most of the front fence in now, just working on a few finishing touches. Still haven't decided what we're going to do for a driveway gate, or even the walk-through gate on the other end. So those are works in progress. We do have the walk-through gate blocked off so that the antelope can't get through there. They are still getting through the driveway. We see them in here occasionally, but the fence in general has cut way, way down on the antelope in the yard. So grateful for that. Okay, so I wanted to show you this. Evergreen is a ewe, and it's just looking gorgeous in the fall. It's doing totally fine. And my fine line buckthorn, it's still looking fine for now, which is a surprise to me because it will lose its leaves, and then it will be just twigs over winter, and then it comes back in the spring. But somehow it's still looking really, really well here, especially it's holding up to how well the ewe looks next door. Just wanted to show you those real quick. One last geranium holding on here, right next to my pumpkins. Okay, so that was my quick fall update. Please send me any questions, comments below if you have them so that I can answer them. We have not gotten any snow yet, but it's cold enough. We could get snow any day now. I can see that happening. I do think we've had some snow maybe falling from the sky a little bit here and there on these cold days, but nothing has stuck to the ground yet. So we'll see how long that lasts. Sometimes we get snow. Usually, I would say we get snow in October at some point, and one year we even got snow on Labor Day. So we can get snow any time of the year, and we've had a really nice fall for that so far. As far as fall's been able to come in a little bit slower, just because we haven't had the snow that's frosted everything out very early. So anyway, that's the update for today. Let me know if you guys have questions. We will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.